overactive nervous system, motion sickness, vertigo, all the seasick feelings. That's what we're going to talk about today. Stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Blushing Phoenix. Okay, so I don't know if you're anything like me, but because of my overactive nervous system, which regardless of trauma, regardless of social anxiety, regardless of the mental, physical, all those different pieces that we can talk about in all the other videos that cause flushing and blushing, it's because of an overactive nervous system. And so today, what I want to talk about is because of that overactive nervous system, there's other symptoms that we can get, which is one of my favorites. Side note, it's not one of my favorites, which is motion sickness. It's not something I talk about a lot because I just learned to deal with it, but motion sickness is a result of the overactive nervous system, vertigo, dizziness, things of that nature. So last week, my family went on a vacation to the beach. And as much as I love the ocean, as much as I love going to the beach, as much as I love the getaway, there are a few things that I don't look forward to. One of those is the car ride. Even though I ride in the passenger seat, I can get super nauseous motion sickness just from riding, usually about 2 hours in. Craziness. And by the time I get to the destination, which is about 6.5 hours away, I just feel like crap. And once that nauseous feeling is triggered, it's hard to come back from that. So then, peep this, then we're at the beach. So we're gonna go down to see the ocean. And the water and the waves are gonna be coming in and going out and coming in and going out. And that movement right there, guess what that does to your girl? Stimulates that overactive nervous system, the system takes off, and then I'm feeling sick again. So today I figured I would talk a little bit about the overactive nervous system with motion sickness and just give you some of the tools that I use that I tested out on this last trip that really seemed to help. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I found one of the really great tools at the very end of the trip on the way back. Nonetheless, there are things that work for me. And I'll also link some of these products in the description box below, and I'll try to get them, over here or over here somewhere or across the screen so that you can see what they look like. And I don't know if these are available outside of the US, but these are the products that I'm using. And you could probably find them on Amazon one way or the other. Okay, so on the way down, normally I'm going to get car sick about 2 hours into the drive. If I'm driving, I might make it about 4 hours. So what we did on this trip was my husband drove the first leg, which was about 3 hours, and then I drove the rest of the way, which is like another 3.5 hours. And it wasn't until probably like the last 45 minutes that I was like, I've got to get out of this car. So what I do normally is I start off by taking a Dramamine. Dramamine works really well to prevent the motion sickness to begin with. Now, if you're already triggered, you can still take Dramamine and then it'll help you. But I've learned that once that thing is triggered in my mind, my body just like clings to things, which is probably why I have erythrophobia. It's probably why I blush all the time. Flush all the time is because once my mind has a concept of something, it wants to continue doing it. Why can't it do that to make me millions of dollars? But anyway, I digress. And so taking a Dramamine at the beginning, before I get in the car, about 30 minutes to an hour before, really helps out a lot. Now, here's the thing. That lasts about 4 to 6 hours and then it runs off. The only downfall is that you will get sleepy, or I get sleepy, usually around the 2-hour mark. And I'm just so freaking tired. So I don't feel sick, but I'm really tired. The next morning I woke up and I was it takes about 24 hours for me to settle into my new environment, let my nerves settle and my system just calm down and realize that it's safe, because that overactive nervous system is responding to the trauma of you're not safe, regardless of what my mind thinks, regardless of how I want to feel, my body, that's just what it does. So it takes about 24 hours. So the next morning, what I do is I take a Zofran, and if you have not been prescribed Zofran, it is what I call the miracle hangover cure. I digress. This is not what we're talking about. But what it does is Zofran absolutely takes away any sort of like nauseous feeling. It doesn't have a lot of side effects. I'm sure you can Google side effects, and some people may have those side effects, but I don't have them. And actually, my son gets a lot of car sickness as well. So the Zofran is prescribed to him as well. And that we usually Dramamine him, kid Dramamine, and we also give him the Zofran so that he can make it 6.5 hours as well. Wait, a Zofran the next morning helps kind of take that nauseous edge off, kind of calm everything down, and then I take a half of a Dramamine, which is 25 milligrams, which later I figured out that the less drowsy version of Dramamine is 25 milligrams. So I'm kind of thinking I just created my own. And I will say it didn't make me feel as sleepy, and it did help give me the benefits of not feeling sick. The rest of the trip was amazing. There really wasn't a lot of sickness going on. I really settled into, my body understood this is what we do, this is where we go, because we were there for 6 days. So I was good after really the first 72 hours. Now, on the way back home, I knew we're gonna get in the car and we're gonna drive 6.5 hours back. So I stopped by the store and I found the Dramamine Naturals. I was like, okay, I don't know that this is gonna work because it's natural. It's just ginger, but the clinical dosage of ginger. And I was afraid that if I took it and it didn't work, then I'm stuck because I don't like to mix medicines. So we started off the journey and we were probably about 30 minutes into it and we pulled over at a gas station. And I was like, you know what the heck, I'm gonna try it. And I was already kind of starting to feel this nauseous feeling, even in just that 30 minutes. But I popped 2 of those Dramamine Naturals, went into the gas station, grabbed a couple things, came back out, and by the time we got to, like, kind of got up and running again, I would say probably about another 30 minutes, 45 minutes or so, you guys, those things were amazing, and they worked, like, immediately, and I just felt like myself again, and I didn't feel any nauseous feelings, and I felt, like, upbeat and happy and energized and not sleepy at all. That would be my biggest recommendation, that if you take that natural Dramamine, if you have those sorts of spinny, nauseous feelings due to your overactive nervous system. So all in all, I will link those products below so that you can check them out for yourself if you're looking for something, and obviously talk to your doctor about Zofran if that may be a solution for you as well. But yeah, I thought that this would be something really neat to talk about, because even though we're talking about blushing and flushing, that still stems from an overactive nervous system. And there are other things that come from that overactive nervous system, such as vertigo and motion sickness. And once those things are triggered, your body grasps for those, like, this is normal, let's make this happen now. No, we don't want that to happen. So we want to calm that back down. And honestly, when I go get acupuncture, that helps that as well. Because normally once I'm triggered for a couple of weeks. Not heavily where I'm taking Dramamine all the time, but I can feel, we were watching TV the other day, and it's one of those sitcoms where the camera is like moving, and we were probably about 8 episodes in because we were binge watching. And I noticed that the camera was moving like that, and I said to my husband, that is making me crazy. And he was like, shoot, I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out. So then it took a little while because I really like the show, it took a while for us to get back to the point where it's like, don't focus on the moving camera all the time. But that is how my system works. It picks up motion, it picks up movement, and it stores it in a way of like, react to this. So, and honestly, that's something too that can make me start blushing or flushing, is if my system starts to have that seasick feeling, it overwhelms my system, and then I will flush. How fun is that? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all today. I hope that you are off to a great start to your week. And I'll be doing another propranolol update. The cool thing is that while I was out of town for 6 days, I didn't take it at all. And I really want to update you guys on what happened when it wasn't in my system. And we'll go from there. But until my next video, I'll see you in my next one. Oh, and if this was helpful at all, be sure to subscribe and like. I always forget to ask that because I just feel like if you want to do that, you're going to do that. But apparently the YouTube gurus tell me to tell you, be sure to like and subscribe and comment below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.